Like, you my friend, man. You my sister. Like, if I had, you had. Like, how could you not know? I would need you. Cause you gon' always be my sister. How long? Years. It was years. It was, I think, when Alex was born until she turned about 7.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it was years of just no communication, no talking.
I mean, but it wasn't like it was an issue between us. Like it wasn't an animosity or like even something that happened. It's just kind of like we just kind of grew apart. During that time, that's when you were back and forth from Florida, and I was here. I think I was pregnant with my last child. So it was just kind of like, no, I had already had him.
No, you already had TJ.
Yeah. So it was just, I think it was just kind of like it's just falling apart, not really knowing because you had gotten married and it was just like, I was single. So it was like, you were, Cricket, you were married.
I was married, but I didn't take it that way. I felt like my friend had left me for no reason. I did.
Really? Yes. I never knew. Like
I really did feel that way. I felt like, even when I was with her, I remember you called me on occasion and we would talk, and then all of a sudden there was nothing, and I was like, well, I didn't do anything to her.
Right, and then it was just, I think at that point in my life, I was going through other issues and things that I really didn't want to discuss. And I didn't want to share with anybody. So I kept a lot of that stuff to myself.
Yeah.
And I guess I did isolate you as my friend, but it wasn't nothing personal. It was just nothing personal against you.
Yeah.
It was just things that I had been dealing with on my own that I felt like I had to deal with. And it was just, but it wasn't nothing.
And I get what you're saying, and I understand, but I'm going to give you my lens. I remember when Bree was little. That's your firstborn.
Whew.
And you and Bree came to live with me.
Yeah.
And we were sisters.
Yeah.
And my mom and my dad lived across the street.
Yes.
And I didn't have any children.
Nope.
And they were Bree grandparents.
They took Bree everywhere.
Everywhere.
Called her
we would go out.
Your daddy gave it a nickname, Stink.
We would literally do drive-by drops off of Bree.
Right, because he wanted to go out.
And we would go, and we were together. And then fast forwarded to both of my parents are deceased. I lost my mom and my dad, and now I'm pregnant. I didn't have anybody.
I did come.
I had her in Florida, and then when I came down, we met in the campground. And we had a campground situation.
Yeah, but I was here when your dad died. I came.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just the whole, I was there with you and Bree. I was there when you found out about TJ. Kaylin was the only one that was a surprise to me. But when I got ready to have my daughter, my friend wasn't there. And my parents, this is my lens, my parents were grandparents to her daughter. But here it is, I go it alone. And I found that to be a story with most of the people that I called friends. When I turned around and I needed them, I was by myself. And then people felt like I was pushing people away, but it was like, maybe I just didn't articulate what my need was. And I think I felt like if I said it, why should I have to say it? Like, you my friend, man. You my sister. Like, if I had, you had. Like, how could you not know I would need you?
I think that's one of the issues about being a strong person. People don't know when you're hurting and when you need unless you express so. And I can honestly say this, that we might have this in common. You don't often communicate that. You just automatically block. Like, I remember in each time that we had a separation, I reached out to you. Not one, and we had this conversation before, and I feel like,
why.
I feel like some people
cutting off here, and I felt like that was gone, and when somebody else does something, then that has to be gone, and then somebody else does something, and that has to be gone, and the only person that I have is me. So when you would come back, it would still be with that lack of trust, because when are you gonna do it again?
Right, that goes both ways. But this is the thing. This is the part that I'm not saying that you did something deliberate to me.
That's what we're here to talk about.
What did I do to you? I just felt like honestly, this is how I feel. I feel like when it comes to our friendship, you, like you say, you such a strong and aggressive person. It comes off as wrong. Like, it's like you don't care, like you don't this and like you don't do this. Until recently, when we had a personal conversation amongst ourselves and you like, Po, I love you. Okay, I feel that now. But before, I felt like a big gap. Like, I'm expressing myself to you and you, nah, I want to hear that, You taking it to comparing situations to what you went with other people with me. That I had, like I said, I have issues with expressing myself. I have issues with communication. And when I get backed in the corner, I just back away. And when I feel like I'm opening to expressing myself again, then I'll come to you and I'll be like, hey, I didn't mean it like this, or I didn't say it like this, and I didn't say it like this, or I didn't feel that way. It wasn't what you thought it was. And I feel like a lot of times, like I say, you compare situations from when people were truly trying to hurt you to if it has any kind of any similar anything, you just automatically put it in the box like she just effed up, or she effing with me, or she's not here for me, and that's not the case. That's the only thing I can say.
To a certain extent, but I think it has to be a level of ownership too. That because what you said was general, but there were no. I'm not that callous. Like, there has to be some drivers. There was nothing specific. Like, we had specific situations, and we don't have to go into detail about the specifics, but there were specific situations where I felt like I was dismissed when I was doing more, and the appreciation wasn't there. Like, and then I get it, you felt like because I didn't talk to you about certain things, and the reason I didn't, because you're still feeling things out. Seeing what people are coming from with like I said, loyalty is big. Our generation, because we have an age difference. There's a significant age difference between us. So how I process things is going to be different than the way you process things.
Right.
But then when I talk to you and I have a heart-to-heart with you, and then when you want to vent, you vent to others. Like, if I have a Porsha issue, when we were going through those things, I kept my Porsha issues to myself. And when we were going through things, you chatted it up.
Well,
with certain people. And so it came back, and I was like, well, she don't know they ain't her friends.
I don't recall that. I never discussed your personal or nothing, because I always...
Just how you felt about our situation.
Oh, I'm about
it
to
wasn't
say...
never a personal thing. Neither one of us do that.
Oh, okay.
We grown folks, we don't talk about...
Do that.
We don't share. Like, I don't care. Me and Keita been friends for forever. The things we did when we were kids, still there.
Let's leave them there.
Yeah, but when you're going through it with a friend, just kind of like what old people used to say, take it to Jesus. Like, because it's just like a relationship, and similar to a relationship with a guy. When you and I still have similar things going on. Like,
right.
Y'all going through stuff. It ain't always good to share it with the people who love you. Sometimes it's better to pray about it than because then the people that love you are going to want to protect you. And now they're going to feel a type of way about a situation that they don't even have any firsthand knowledge of.
Right.
So, like, I'm sure we all got support teams that are separate from where we are at this table.
Right.
Your support team is going to cheer you on. Keita, you doing a wonderful job. They ain't good. Leave them alone. Right. Mine are the same way. Portia's yours the same way. So if you take to them concerns that they aren't directly in touch with, they're going to always see it as you're right. I call my friends, my group, my cheerleaders. Because they're going to always, I don't care what I take to them. I'm the best thing smoking. And there's a reason that I got you guys at the table and not them, because I want the truth.
Right.